Alright guys, we have arrived to the AMC IMAX. Alright, so we're approaching. It doesn't look, oh, maybe it is. I have not been to the movies. Gosh, I'm not even going to tell you the last movie I came to see. They're probably going to tell me I have to turn my camera off when I get in, but we'll see. Huh? You said what? Oh, it's open. Okay. Ooh, I forgot to put my mask on, y'all. Okay. Here we go. All right, y'all. We're in the theater, and I'll come back for y'all after the movie. I might try to get some sneak movie in, but I'll be back. The camera. Uncle wait for the camera. And we're getting ready to enter AMC Theaters number 9, guys. Hello, everybody. It's Mattie with Mattie Reactions and More. And I just wanted to get you, your name, please? Letish. Miss Letish was in the same theater with myself, and we both watched the Elvis Presley movie. And I just want her to give me her reaction as far as the movie.
I enjoyed it a lot. Found out a lot of things about it I didn't know, especially manager-wise, how he was used, it wasn't fair. Just realized and found out a lot more than I did.
Okay. And the same here with me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah. All right, guys. So that was Miss Letitia. I just met her inside the theater, and she gave her opinion on the movie. The movie was excellent, but when I get home, we'll talk more about it. We'll see you in the next clip. Bye. Hey everybody, it's Mattie with Mattie's Reactions and More.
And it's Unc from Beehive Nation TV.
Y'all, as y'all seen earlier in the video, we finally made it to see Elvis. That movie was the bomb.com. I want to say the movie lasted for approximately 3 hours, but it was worth every minute that we sat there and watched it.
It really was.
Yeah, that movie was really good. I got my good parts on, my favorite parts of it. And I actually learned a lot from that movie today. Like I told you guys before, I used to listen to the music when I was a young girl. And then as I'm getting older and now that I'm doing reactions, or as I've gotten older and I'm doing reactions to it now, it's starting to mean a little more to me. And when they started playing all of his songs in there, like Suspicious Mind and what was some of the others?
Hound Dog.
Yeah, the Hound Dog. It just took me way back. I'm in there. And guess what? It was only like maybe, would you say about 6 of us?
6 people, yeah, give or take.
Yeah, it was only about 6 of us in there. And like you said, give or take, but I'd say take, you know. I love going to the theaters when it's like that, when nobody's there. It was so peaceful. And I must say, the popcorn has gone up, as well as the sodas have gone up tremendously. Like, a soda cost me $7, and a small bag, an extra small bag of popcorn was $7 too. And it's been so long since Unc and I've been to the movies. When we went in there, we're standing at the register waiting for somebody to come and ring us up for our tickets. So we're looking around and we don't see anybody. Then finally I look over and I say, hey babe, we gotta pay for it with the credit card right here. You know, so it's been a minute, a lot of minutes since we last been. But
don't tell anybody, but we got in as seniors.
Well, he is a senior.
I'm not a senior. But
A
anyway,
senior is 55.
65.
Oh, 65.
Well, if the senior is 55,
I didn't mean to say 55, 65.
Yeah.
I meant to say 60.
Yeah, it's not. But anyway, we got in at the senior price, which was like $7 and some change.
Yeah.
I'll take it every day. But it was all in all, it was an excellent movie. I mean, so many different things that, you know, I'd heard things, but you know, I never really delved into it. Like with Colonel Parker, how he manipulated him.
Yeah.
He was the master manipulator. let him go. He got his claws in him. He wouldn't let him go, and I think that was part of the demise for Elvis as well, because he wanted to do what he wanted to do, but Colonel Parker had a hold on him, and then he found out that everybody was stealing from him.
Mm-hmm.
Especially Colonel Parker.
Yeah, and I think also I'm thinking I saw the movie, but I was a little confused. But the part where his father came to the door and Elvis told him that, well, the father showed him the 8,000. Was it 8,000?
8,000,000.
That was 8,000,000.
8,000,000.
The $8,000,000 that the colonel wanted Elvis to pay him, and the father said, "We're broke." And I'm like, "But how?" This is my thoughts. But how? And the father says again, "We're broke." And Elvis looking, I'm looking too, like, how are they broke? So the father went on to tell him that they were broke because Elvis spent money on women and on clothing
Cars.
and fancy cars and things like that. Yeah. So at some point, because the colonel told Elvis that the father basically was taken from him.
Well, yeah, but he failed to say that he was also. I think it was more Colonel Parker, because if you remember, Elvis said he's getting 50% of whatever I make.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And another part that I tried to understand was the part about them going overseas. I understood the part where the colonel couldn't get a passport.
Why he couldn't get a passport?
Right.
Because his name was not Colonel Parker. The Colonel Tom Parker. That was a made up name. I did a little research after we got back, and it come to find out he was born in the Netherlands, and he came into this country illegally. And they knew. Remember the part when he was in that meeting with those people, and they said, there's no record of you.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that guy really didn't exist. His name was Andreas something. I forgot what it was, but he was born in the Netherlands, and he took over. He got this whole new identity, and that's why he couldn't get a passport. And that's what they used against him as well during the time they were trying to get Elvis to stop with the gyrating and all of that stuff. Someone locking him up and this, that, and the other. They were using that against Colonel Parker.
And then another part for me that was my favorite too was the part with his mom. His mom just loved him so much. And she wanted him out of harm's way. And just to see the part when the mom broke down and cried, and that part was kind of sad for me.
Yeah.
That was sad for me. And I'm a big crybaby, for those that don't know. And I'm sitting in there and I'm trying to be a big girl because Unc's sitting next to me and he always talk about how I always cry on stuff. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm not going to cry, I'm not going to cry, I'm not going to cry. But that was a sad part for me. But the overall movie was excellent.
And like in the beginning where they talked, where you saw where it came from, how he liked to go to the revivals, and he hung in the because they had to get a house in the black neighborhood. It was one house for a white person in that neighborhood, and so they had to move there because the father had gotten in trouble and whatever, and so he picked up a lot of his style and rhythm and the music period from going to these blues clubs and hanging out at the church revivals and all those different kind of things, and it turned out that he was friends with B.B. King, Little Richard, Fats Domino, what is the lady name? And I didn't know.
Mahalia Jackson.
No, but there was a lady that sang Hound Dog, and I meant to write it down, but I can't remember. She sang the original song. I forgot, but she, he learned a lot from them, and I remember reading about how they didn't want him to gyrate, and it was, frowned upon. But I didn't know that it was as serious.
Right.
That was intense. But he decided that
he was going to do it how he wanted to do it.
I'm going to do what I want to do, the way I want to do it, and ain't nobody going to tell me what to do. And so that show, he was supposed to have been doing some kind of charity show for some kids, and he got it in, and he was Elvis.
Now, just let me show you guys, because back in the day, we used to call an unk a bookworm. Like, you throw some numbers out there, the unk got it just like that. You know, an unk is always reading books and things like that. So while we're sitting in the theater, I see his phone lights up. So I'm like, what in the world, what is he doing? So he says, Priscilla was 14 and Elvis was, how old did you say?
24.
24. So, I'm looking straight like I don't hear him, because I figure if I elaborate with him, then he'll keep going on and on. So I'm like this. So he really wanted me to hear what he said, so he said it again. So Priscilla was 14 and Elvis was 24. So I turned around and looked at him. I said, really? And he was like, yeah. So as we looking at the movie some more, he said, she was 14 and he was 24. I said, and he gonna talk about this and talk about
Actually, and before you brought that up, I had forgotten all about that part.
Yeah.
But I heard that she was young when they met. I didn't know it was that young. But, well, that's another story, because I didn't understand that part.
What part was that?
The part where the 14-year-old was hanging out with the 24-year-old.
Yeah.
And her father was an officer in the military, and so that happened. I guess because he was Elvis, I guess. But that's another story for another day.
But Elvis, Priscilla was beautiful. The person that played Priscilla's role, she was beautiful, and she really, really, really loved Elvis. She genuinely loved Elvis, but she wanted for him to do better in the aspect of the drug usage. She wanted him to do better, and I don't know. I don't understand why, because in the movies, it's like Elvis wanted to have her. He wanted her to stay there with him, but she left.
He wanted it both ways. See, like Colonel Parker said, remember we were watching it, and he came off the stage and was kissing all the women.
Oh yeah, that part right there, I didn't like either.
And when he, like he said, when you saw, he could see it in her eyes that she knew that she could not compete with the love Elvis was getting from the other people. See, he loved it, and so he got caught up in it, and being out on the road and being away from the family, and then the drugs started to take over, and I guess the ego started to take over. I'm Elvis. I can do what I want. I can have what I want, and she knew what was going on, but her thing was, I don't know what her thing, but she was mad about the drugs, and she was mad about not being.
She was angry about the drugs and the women.
Yeah, but she wanted him to, like she said, when was the last time they laughed together? When the last, sat down and had dinner together, him and Lisa Marie.
I get it.
And so, she wanted Elvis, but once Elvis Presley became just Elvis, it became different. The
whole demeanor.
Yeah, everything changed.
Mm-hmm.
His whole, because, and they let the genie out the bottle. And once the genie was out, it was out. And he became the alter ego, Elvis. He was no longer Elvis Presley. So.
Overall, it was a good.
I loved that movie. It was very good. And at the end, they talked. They put out how Colonel Parker, they found out that he was in fact abusing Elvis's finances, and there was some settlement, and and because he had a gambling problem.
Mm-hmm.
And the crazy part, when they made the deal at the hotel for the casino, when he wrote on the napkin that Elvis would get $5 million a year, and then he was like, "Well, that's what you're going to pay him. What do I get?" They
gave him a unlimited
credit, yeah, and plus, because he was so deeply in debt with those, and that was the main reason why he didn't. It was another reason why he didn't want Elvis to travel, because he needed him there, so he could go to the and perform at that hotel.
Yeah, he did.
You know, at the casino.
What was it, 15?
15 shows in one night. That was just one.
That wasn't in one night.
I mean, 15 shows in 15 days.
Yeah, 15 shows in 15 days, and that was really cool too. And Elvis was really feeling himself then.
Oh, but they was doping him up.
Yeah.
Dr. Nick was shooting him up. Well, I don't know what he used. He even had an episode at somewhere, or it was at the not the hospital, but I guess it was at the arena or something, and he fell out, and Colonel Parker came running down there and said the only thing that matters is that he's on that stage.
Yep. And at that time, they shot him up with something.
Yeah, because he was like the father, and they told the father. Mm-hmm. By then he was
Vernon.
Yeah, Vernon. By then he was all in with Colonel Parker. You know, it was like, I'm gonna ride this mule till this gone. And so when he fell out, the doctor was there, and he opened up his little case. He was like, "What can you do for him?" I got him. Next thing you know, you see Elvis on stage. You know, so it was a great movie. Elvis was played by Austin Butler. He did a wonderful job.
And he did an awesome job. Awesome job. Awesome. And if you guys have not gone out to see that movie,
I strongly suggest
it's imperative that you go out there and see it. I mean, again, it's been a long time since I've been to the theater, and I really enjoyed myself there. And I think had it been even 6 hours, I'd have sat in there and watched it. But
yeah, and Tom Hanks did a good job playing Colonel Parker. Although,
Tom Hanks?
Yeah, although there were moments when all I could think was Forrest Gump. I don't know why, but that just kept coming to my mind, Forrest Gump. But he did a wonderful job. All in all, the movie was good. The actors were great.
So on a scale of 1 to 10,
I'd give it a 10.
And I would give it a 10 also, y'all. Go see the movie. Go see the movie. You know, a lot of people was telling me, well, why don't you just look at it from home? Why don't you just look at it from home? You can get it on this channel, that channel. Uncle's like, no, we're going to the theater to see the movie. Yeah, and I'm glad.
It's better. It just feels better, and you get it's just better with the surround sound and everything, and the big screen, and it was good. It was really good. It was a good experience, and like Mattie said, there weren't a lot of people there, so because you have to pick your seats, which I don't know why, but we picked the seats, but of course we didn't sit in those seats because I realized it was maybe a little bit too close, so we moved to the back, and it was good. Like I said, the experience was good. I didn't realize how expensive theater stuff is.
It is very expensive, but I tell you, a lot of people are getting ready to be out of work because, like I said, now you go to a little kiosk and you pay for your own ticket. And the only thing you don't do yourself as of right now, but they probably try to find a way where you can serve yourself till you get a key and be able to unlock it and drop a sandwich like a vending machine, so to speak. But that was good. And you know what? I will go and see it again. I will go back and see that movie again because it was a couple of scenes I missed because I had to go to the bathroom twice and then I had to, get us something to eat on or whatever. But I'll go back and see the movie again. I give it 10 stars as well. But we're not going to hold you guys. We do have some other clips that we are going to insert inside of this video. And we want to thank you guys for your love and your support and for recommending this to us. I'm so glad y'all recommended this to us.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was a good movie and very enjoyable.
And also, before I leave, I want to say if you're new to the channel and you're just passing us by, hit that red button down there that says subscribe. Don't pass us by, just subscribe, y'all. And hit the notification bell. Give us a thumbs up. Leave us a comment. And I did say hit the notification bell. And join the family and become a part of the family. Alright, guys. So, y'all can leave some comments down below if you've seen the movie. And give Unc and I your intake on it also.
We let you got to say.
Yeah, we let it hear your comments as well. And we will talk about it again. Alright? Oh, and I will also do videos the rest of this week for Elvis. Alright, guys. I'll see y'all later. And I love y'all so much. And thank you. Mwah.
Peace.